Don't take my word for it. Look that mess up, please.
Yeah.
Free lunches at school through a new universal school meals program, but it's had some unexpected side effects. Lunches are actually becoming healthier, and more kids are lining up for school lunches than before. My name is Elizabeth Shockman. I'm an education reporter for Minnesota Public Radio, and I'm here at Roseville High School. Students today are eating jerk chicken, curried rice, and black beans. It's a menu designed by Minnesota chef Sharon Richards Noel. Since the school started offering free meals, the number of kids eating cafeteria lunch has gone up by 11%. Their breakfast numbers are up by 26%. According to the district nutrition director, Angie Ritchie, more kids eating means more money in the school food budget.
The Universal School Meals Program has been a game changer in terms of boosting participation, reducing stigma, and making school meals a natural part of the school day.
Some people, like Angela, think the steady funding stream for school meals will mean Minnesota cafeterias will be able to move away from processed heat and prep models to more fresh, healthy food prepared on site for kids. More kids in Minnesota are getting free lunches at school through a new universal school meals program, but it's had some unexpected side effects. Lunches are actually becoming healthier, and more kids are lining up for school lunches than before. My name is Elizabeth Shockman. I'm an education reporter for Minnesota Public Radio, and I'm here at Roseville High School. Students today are eating jerk chicken, curried rice, and black beans.
Man, all my years of school, I've never had a school lunch that looked anywhere close to as good as that. Jerk chicken with beans and rice. Oh my God, bro. Like, ugh. I would love to have that. Shoot, I'd like to eat that right now. Um, yeah, and that the model, I think one of the big changes that happened was when Michelle Obama she was trying to do what she was trying to do, but the result was bad. And this prep heating model, what did she say? Because all of the food comes in they're hot held, like it's not fresh at all. It's processed and it's nasty, and the kids don't want to eat it. But what they're talking about here, it says, ever since Minnesota implemented universal free school meals, more kids are getting fed. Kids eating school lunch is up 11% and breakfast is up 26%. Plus, with better funding, the meals are healthier. So, man, universal free school meals. And people get so angry when you talk about free school meals, free meals for the kids at school. Like, I don't understand why anybody would be angry about the kids getting to eat for free at school. Like, it's like, oh my God, we're turning into a communist country because the kids get to eat lunch for free. Like, what problem do y'all have with the kids having fucking food? Like, oh my God. And look at this food. It looks healthy as hell. Man, if I was at that school, I would be so happy to be able to eat some jerk chicken and beans and rice for free. They got salads and fresh salads and stuff. Man, and the lunches have been so terrible. I used to go eat breakfast with my daughter all the time. And sometimes I would come and eat lunch with her, and I would be trying to motivate her to eat it. And then sometimes I literally couldn't eat it. Like, I couldn't swallow it. I couldn't get it down my throat. It was so bad, you know. And sometimes you have to pay for this stuff. And it's like, I really don't understand why people get so angry when you talk about kids getting free lunch. And like, this is in Minnesota. I can't see this ever happening in Texas. Like, people would push against it so hardcore here. It's like, what problem do you have with that? Like, oh, the parents are going to spend the money on drugs and cigarettes or whatever instead of buying their kids some lunch or whatever. Like all of these parents that's living check to check, they're just neglecting their kids, you know, if they don't have the money for the kids' lunch or whatever, they're getting them a hot pocket or something, giving them a couple of dollars every day for lunch for them to grab some chips and a soda out of the vending machine or something. Like, crazy. It says ever since Minnesota implemented universal free school meals, more kids are getting fed. Kids eating school lunch up 11%, and breakfast is up 26%. Plus, with better funding, the meals are healthier. Comments, it says, bet if they did a longitudinal study to see if there was correlation between this free food and increased test scores, overall student success, you'd find a direct link. I'm absolutely 100% sure that there would be, because especially breakfast, the kids get up and they get some breakfast in them, and then they have more energy, they can focus, they can pay attention, they're going to do better in school. So these people who pushing against the free lunch, they want these kids to be starving and not paying attention and not being able to do anything. Some of these families, these school lunch that they get, that might be the only meal they get. If they get breakfast and then they get lunch at school, that might be the only meals that they get that day. Parents are working 2 and 3 jobs. They don't have time to come home and prepare a meal for their kids. Like, this is a good thing all the way around. And like, what better way do you have to spend your tax dollars than on some kids getting some freaking food for lunch? It says, oh, hey, look, an actual pro-life policy. Another one, it says, Republicans, ban abortion, ban the gay books, every life is precious, save the children. Also, Republicans, why should I pay to feed your brats? The parents need to do their jobs. Another comment, it says, yes, I want to see this in every state. This is what I want my tax dollars to fund. Another one says, how sad that feeding children needs to be such an issue. Another one says, meanwhile, my red state legislature just voted against free lunch because kids don't finish all the food. That's what they were saying. I covered that in the show too. They was like, oh, it's a massive waste. So like, okay, I mean, like all the waste we have everywhere else, like you don't want the kids to have lunch because they're gonna waste it. Like, that sounds like a cop-out excuse. The restaurant I work at throws away so much food. I used to work at Home Depot. They threw away electronics, perfectly fine electronics, and would just throw them in the trash because they didn't have space for it on the shelf. And you would get fired if you was to take any of that stuff. Talking about waste. Our system is so overly wasteful, it's all the way ridiculous. So, and that's a reason to not let the kids have food. It says, and it helps the kids pay attention. They don't feel less than their peers. Their parents are less stressed, etc. Why don't pro-lifers promote free and healthy school lunches? It's extremely beneficial for more than just kids. It is at odds with corporations, though, so seek to extract taxpayers' monies to enrich themselves while providing no benefit to who they're contracted with. And the whole thing about the school lunch program does make kids feel some kind of way, because it's like, oh, you're a free lunch kid. Oh, you got the free lunch, because it's always different. It's a different lunch. It's easily identifiable from across the room. Oh, you got the paper tray. You're a poor kid or whatever. So, but if it's free for everybody, then it doesn't put anybody in that boat of feeling lesser than or whatever. The kids can't make fun of you because we all get the same lunch. If you want to bring your own lunch or pay for lunch, you can still do that. It doesn't exclude you from that option. On the day you forgot your money or you didn't get to pack a lunch or whatever, then you get to have lunch at school without a problem. It says, I knew it was a Black woman behind that meal and can probably explain the correlation between her menu and kids eating more, LOL. Another one, it says, why is it a radical idea to feed children in a country that has endless funding when it comes to dropping 2,000-pound bombs on children? It says, next, universal health care lead to more healthy population overall. Another one, it says, I moved up here to Minnesota last year from Iowa and bought our first house, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that legislation resulted in programs like this and protections against eminent domain abuse by carbon pipeline companies make me thankful every day to call Minnesota home now. The legislative session in 2023 is both IA and MN, where they made us take the leap, and I'm so much happier that my tax dollars are put to use in feeding kids, better public infrastructure and transportation, protecting waterways, and the list goes on. The differences are night and day, and I'm so glad I moved here. Another one, it's actually insane to think people don't want this. It says, OMG, that's my cousin, way to go, Angie. Another one, it says, every state needs to do this, just feed the kids, all of them. It says, North Dakota in 1 week voted against school lunches, but voted in favor of raising their own lunch budgets. Yeah, why is it a radical idea to have freaking lunch for kids? I don't know. Anyways, y'all, I got to get out of here. I'm delirious. Peace. 6 hours. I just did 6 hours. Peace and love. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for joining. I got to go.
We have to have what Walter Lippmann, back in 1920 or so, called manufacture of consent. We have to ensure that actual decision-making, actual power is in the hands of what he called